Hey there YouTubers, it's Francis UD again. So in this video I just like to do a bit of ranting and venting. After I lost quite an important patron of mine on Patreon. Yeah, so I just took notice that he canceled his subscription to my Patreon page. Yeah. After he contributed around for around maybe three months or 2 or 4. So yeah, which makes me feel quite upset. Though I still bear still some hope, since I just made several cold calls to several business entities throughout Australia, by the number I gathered from Gumtree. And yeah, that makes me kind of feel, somewhat relieved, from the frustration induced by losing one patron of mine, and probably also a subscriber of mine. And during this tense time, I know it's pretty hard to remain hopeful. Most of the time, and yes, I beg your pardon if I started a bit in this video, but just for your information, please do not cease to try. Never stop trying, since only through trying can you increase your the rate of success, the rate of closing a deal. And you have to. But I'm not saying that you have to push your clients to close a deal, but instead, you would first of all, you explore their needs and their wants and their frustrations, their problems, their issues with running their businesses, and even the frustrations and issues and problems living their own lives. And you gather as much information as you can, and then you proceed to analyze their needs and wants, according to the information you've gathered so far. And if they say no, if they reject you, don't get too surprised at the rejections. And you need to learn how to handle rejections and the frustrations induced by rejection. And that falls into one of the categories of multitudes after multitudes of crucial life skills, and how to handle rejection also plays a vital role in ensuring your success. And that's also one of the reasons why I'm here making this video, to tell you about the nature of rejections from other human individuals. Since we all have highly limited resources, such as time, money, youth, energy, and our own capabilities and skills. I can pretty much safely assume that each and every one of us has some sort of skill gaps, which means we have to keep learning, we have to keep evolving, we have to keep exploring. We sometimes, more often than not, on some occasions, we even have to explore our own needs and wants. And we sometimes don't even know ourselves well enough to know about others' wants and needs, to think, to consider in somebody else's shoes. And I suppose that's why that also could or might have been a major constituents of arguments, fights, conflicts, wars, and clashes between ethnicity groups and countries and nations, etc. etc. So always learn how to think in other bodies, in others' shoes, and don't get too surprised, and don't get, and try not to get so enraged or frustrated with their, the rejections coming from them, because rejection, rejections, as far as I can perceive, belong to one of the simplest and the most fundamental human nature. Since Adam and Eve, they rejected God's grace and commandments, and that's why they died. And that's why, that's precisely why we human beings, experience sufferings, afflictions, agony, pain, and excruciations, and disappointment and frustrations. And that's also why, the book of Romans, somewhere on the book of Romans say, all creation travail, groan in travail, or the whole creation groans in travail. Romans chapter 8 verse 22. So if you don't mind, please allow me to read such verse to you. Romans chapter 8 verse 22. So I'm just gonna read, chapter 21 all the way to chapter. I'm just gonna read chapter 8 verse 21 all the way to chapter 8 verse 23. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. So I hope this message can serve you well, can serve the purpose of encouraging one another within the whole, manosphere, Also, I make this video to also to encourage myself, so that I can push forward with my life and bear more fruits for you and myself to enjoy. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you are still having a good time, and if you aren't, then I shall keep you in my prayers as much as I can, as often as I can make it so. So stay tuned, stay strong, stay put, stay safe, remain steadfast and faithful, and I shall see you guys in the next videos on YouTube, if God willing. I certainly hope so. Cheers, have fun, take care, bye bye, and hold the line with me, with God. Amen.